we've had so many different shows over the years, and it's really been a joy, I think, to be able to work on those shows. And so maybe I'll pick out a few of my favorite over the years, and you can maybe pick out a few of yours. Let's see, where to start. Let's see. We had one of our first kind of larger group shows that we did, that it was called On Silvered Wings. And the idea behind it was about birds. And so we partnered up with a place called South Bay Wildlife Rehab. And they actually were able to bring birds to the event. So they had hawks and owls. And so I still have individuals who come to our shows who talk about that opening. And we had, I think that was probably about 40 artists that we had in that show. And it was all different types of birds. And it was just such a beautiful event where we had, good food and good conversation. And the artwork was really beautiful. One of the shows that I worked on this last year was a show called Darkness and Light. And so there's a group called Council to Secure Justice, and they work with young women and some young boys that have been sexually abused in India. And so they help get them legal counsel and get them into group homes and really support them through the process of getting justice. So it's this idea about justice. And so I was approached by the director, John Derby, and he wanted to do a show with Greenlee. And so we did a photography project where we asked them to kind of think about this concept of darkness and light and what did that mean to them. And I was able to extend that project to my friend who lives in Sierra Leone, who works with many individuals who live on the streets and things like that. So the holiday of Diwali is a really important holiday in India. And so we kind of wanted this show to correspond with that celebration of light conquering over darkness. And so it was just a really amazing to get there. We curated out the photos, and then we got a chance to have John come and speak at our opening. We had two dancers from a group called the Dancing Storytellers, and they created a piece for us that they performed at the opening. And it was a very inspiring show. I'll let you talk a little bit about a few, and then I'll think if I can think of any others. So go ahead.
So we've also done some shows where we focus and highlight work of specific artists. So one of the ones that I thought was pretty fun, we did a show with 3 sculptors, 2 of them kind of further on in their career, and one of them that was very early career. Andres Alarcón is a fairly new sculptor. I think he's 18 or 19 years old, learning to weld, and was building kind of these little intricate designs, and we really wanted to challenge him to build larger pieces. So we paired him with Nate Jones, who's a local Long Beach artist who does work with tire shavings, of all things, and with Karina Massengill, who lives in Palos Verdes and does San Pedro. She's been a sculptor for a long time, does cast aluminum and photography as well. And so it was really exciting to bring 3 sculptors together, and also a challenge to kind of hang and develop the work. We actually had one of Nate's pieces that didn't fit in the gallery because it was so tall, so we had to figure out ways to work around the structure, the lighting, to kind of get things into place. And it was a really fun, exciting show to kind of get up and going. I think that was one of my recent favorites. Any other ones you want to bring up now?
Well, I think Slater, the show that we did with Slater Barron.
Oh, yeah.
So Slater is known as the lint lady, and she's done lots of work with dryer lint. So one of the important pieces that she did, she's done a lot of important work, but one of the important pieces she did was about her parents and sort of their, they got ill with Alzheimer's, and so she did a lint piece that had to do with this. It was called My Mother's Garden, I believe, part 1. And as I was talking with Slater, I found out that she actually had an installation that was about 100 feet of canvas that had been rolled up in her garage and had never, ever been installed before. No one had seen it. It had been in her garage, I think, for over 30 years. And I said, we have to show that work to the community. And so it was really special because it was the first time she actually got to see it. She had created it while her parents were sick. She basically painted kind of like
8-foot tall canvas and almost 100 feet of,
almost 100
of canvas.
feet. So we put it all around the outside of the gallery. Then we had astroturf on the bottom, and then she had these figures that were amazing, that were outlines kind of her mom, and she had these different colored tracksuits on, and then her hands and her face were in pencil. So there was this idea of how who the person gets more. It's not as distinct and as clear as it used to be. And then on the back, it was painted black. And then these figures stood up. So Slater and I, placed them around inside of the gallery. So when people came into this exhibit, I would say it was probably one of the most emotionally impactful exhibits that we've had. People would be in tears. It was really powerful for individuals with their own experiences with individuals with Alzheimer's. And Slater talks about that as being a very special and unique thing. And I think that's part of my passion for having an actual gallery space. It's very different. You can see a picture of something online, but to be in the presence of the work, to have the work surrounding you like in an installation, that is not something that's going to happen if you don't have a space to do it in. And I think that's one of the reasons why we love having our actual space.
And it's also something that's fairly difficult to do in a commercial space because it's not like you're going to sell this installation and gain money off of a commission or something. So it's being able to have the space and really focus on the community and being able to do these kind of concept shows and things that really highlight the wide variety of art, I think, is important for us.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely so.